Well, as Texas families come together for the holidays, those visits can reveal more than just memories. They can also uncover signs of an aging loved one may need extra support, with more seniors choosing to age in place rather than move into a facility. So knowing what to look for can make all the difference. So we're joined by nurse Jennifer Prescott, a senior care expert and founder of Blue Water Home Care and Hospice in Central Texas. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
To talk about this very important topic.
Absolutely.
First of all, what are some subtle signs, I guess, an aging loved one may need extra support at home?
Sure. Well, you know, this is an awesome time because we have an amazing opportunity during the holidays to see our loved ones. And so one of those things is I want people to be looking at what are those signs. Yeah. One of the signs that we might see is ambulation issues. Okay. So what that means is, are they chair surfing? Are they furniture surfing? Are they holding on to things in their environment in order to get from point A to point B? So do they need some extra help? Like maybe they need a cane or a walker or something like that. You know, safety is one of those biggest concerns, and so if someone has a fall, that could really, you know, end their abilities to stay at home safely. Right. One of the other things that we look at is medication. So do they have a lot of medications? So I don't know if you're aware, but there's actually an average of 4 medications that a Medicare recipient takes, not including any of those extra medications like, you know, vitamins and things like that. Yeah. And so in order to take those medications, we need to make sure that, are they taking them on time? Are they taking them effectively? Because a lot of times, you know, people are not taking their medications, or maybe they're taking them not, if they're having some memory issues, they might be taking it, you know, too soon, too late, or doubling it up. Like if it's a blood pressure medication, that could really be an issue with them. Right.
So how do you identify, I guess, potential home safety concerns?
Sure. So, you know, one of the things that I like to look at is look at the home environment. So is there a lot of rugs that are, you know, older folks love rugs. I don't know what it is, they love rugs. And so making sure that there's no fall risks associated with that. One of the other things I want you to look at is the refrigerator. So do they have a lot of items that are expired? That is a big red flag. I always tell people one of the best things is if a senior or, you know, maybe a grandparent asks you, can you make me, or would you make a cup of coffee? What I want you to do is actually say yes. And the reason why is I want you to look at those steps and see if they're actually able to do it. So there's a lot of executive functioning that has to happen in order to make coffee, make tea, and so we want to make sure that they can do that. One of the other things I want you to do is look at their mail. So is the mail piling up? Is this something that they actually can do? Can they manage their finances at this point? Yeah. If there's a lot of unopened mail, that might be a red sign, a red flag that things aren't going well for them.
And also, too, what are some tips on having those conversations, but in a, you know, they may not want to hear them, but how do you do that?
Sure. Well, the first thing that you want to do is this is why I'm here, is socializing these conversations. So if you're a senior, having the conversations with your family members, what do you want in the future? What do you want aging to place to look like? If you have to have those conversations, which a lot of us do, I can tell you that, you know, I'm a daughter-in-law, I have a mother-in-law that we had to have these conversations with, and you start with, you know, I'm concerned, I'm noticing that you may be having some, you know, memory issues, or, you know, do you feel safe in the home? Do you feel safe giving yourself a shower? Those may be some of the indications why maybe they're not, you know, showering or taking care of their personal hygiene. It may be because they feel unsafe in the shower. And so one of the great opportunities is having these conversations is if we bring some care in the home, it can help them to stay in home, and we know that people want to age in place.
All right. And really quickly too, a real fast tip on having these conversations but still enjoying Christmas and the holidays.
Absolutely. I think, you know, don't be afraid, lean in, and I think you know your family member. You know, no one wants to feel attacked, and so seniors don't want their independence to be taken away. And the great part about having these conversations is that we can look at opportunities like home care as an opportunity for you to maybe age in place safely.
Staying in the home.
And stay in the home.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.